Thanks for joining us. Welcome to ARIRANG News Break. It's Tuesday, July 12th here in Korea, and live from Seoul, I'm Han Da-eun. South Korean Defense Minister Han Min-gu has put the brakes on the controversies surrounding Seoul and Washington's decision to deploy the U.S. missile defense system THAAD to South Korea. He says Seoul and its regional neighbors, including China, are reading too much into the deployment, which in military terms is equivalent to one Army artillery unit. Addressing lawmakers at the National Assembly this morning, Han also said that the military will likely deploy THAAD in a mountainous region, considering most missiles on the peninsula are deployed to similar kinds of terrain. THAAD is a U.S.-made missile defense system that could intercept intercontinental ballistic missiles upon re-entry to Earth. And more on the deployment of THAAD. The U.S. has hit back at North Korea, saying Pyongyang's aggressive rhetoric against Seoul and Washington only justifies their decision to place the missile defense system on South Korean soil. Washington also called for the release of American detainees in the reclusive state, as Pyongyang threatened to handle them according to wartime law. We get more from Kwon So-ah at Seoul's Unification Ministry.
The United States says North Korea's threat to take physical action in retaliation for the deployment of the U.S. missile defense system THAAD proves that the decision was right. Pyongyang claims the deployment is aimed at invading the north and warned it would strike Seoul and Washington once the deployment location is announced. Pentagon spokesman Commander Gary Ross said such threats only confirm the prudence of Seoul and Washington's decision, adding that the U.S. will continue to ensure its defense posture remains capable of deterring conflict and defending the U.S. and its armed forces. Washington also reacted to another threat made by North Korea late on Monday when it declared it would shut off all channels of contact with the U.S. and deal with any Americans detained in the country according to wartime law. The U.S. State Department once again called on North Korea to release the detainees from improper and unjust detention. Spokesman John Kirby said all of North Korea's recent threats, whether in the form of words or actions, are all the more reason for proper readiness posture in South Korea. He did not, however, make any direct comments on the North's decision to sever the so-called New York Channel, the only channel of communication between the U.S. and North Korea, which have no diplomatic ties. Experts say if the North goes through with its decision to close off contact with Washington, it will delay the release of American citizens detained in Pyongyang. 2 American citizens, college student Otto Warmbier and Korean-American pastor Kim Dong-chol, are currently detained in North Korea, serving sentences of 15 and 10 years. Kwon So-ah, ARIRANG News.
China's claims to the widely contested South China Sea are being scrutinized for the first time by an international legal body. The ruling is due to be delivered in the next few hours, and it isn't expected to make pretty reading for Beijing. Preempting the ruling, the Chinese government has reportedly raised the stakes to a new level. Oh Soo-young has the details.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has reportedly ordered the People's Liberation Army to prepare for combat. This comes ahead of an international tribunal on Tuesday that's expected to issue an unfavorable ruling against China's claims over the South China Sea. US-based Boxun News said Tuesday that the instruction was given in case the United States takes provocative action in the waters once the ruling is made. The US and China have been expanding their military activities across the sea, stoking heavy tension between the two superpowers. China controls roughly 90% of the South China Sea, a critical waterway that handles some $5 trillion worth of trade every year. The Philippines filed a suit to the Hague Tribunal in 2013, accusing Beijing of seizing Scarborough Shoal, a fishing area that Manila claims as part of its exclusive economic zone. It says China's extensive maritime claims don't conform to the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, which was ratified by both countries. Since then, the country has stacked up 15 claims against China's vast territorial expansion. China opposes the arbitration process. It says it does not acknowledge the tribunal's jurisdiction and will not accept its ruling. The Hague's ruling on Tuesday is binding, but the court lacks powers of enforcement. Oh Soo-young, ARIRANG News.
It's monsoon season here in Korea, and we're in for a round of steamy mornings and rainy afternoons. Heavy rain advisories are in place in southern parts of the nation, but Seoul is forecast to stay dry. Our Yoon-shin has more.
Korea has seen some record-breaking temperatures over the past few days, but with the rainy season kicking back in on Tuesday, the country is expected to cool down a bit. Seoul and the surrounding Gyeonggi-do province started out the day covered in a layer of clouds and mist, and there's a chance of rain late this afternoon. Up to 30 millimeters of rain are expected in the central region, including Chungcheongbuk-do and Gyeongsangbuk-do provinces. Southern cities like Busan and Yeosu are also seeing light showers this afternoon, but on Jeju Island, a heavy rain warning has been issued, with about 120 millimeters expected today. Along with the rain, blustery winds are expected to sweep through the southern and western coastal areas, gaining strength going into the evening hours. The rainy season, which may be a burden to some, also has its benefits, as the extra precipitation is expected to bring ultra-fine dust levels down below average nationwide. Yoon-shin, ARIRANG News.
And that's all from me. Keep it tuned to ARIRANG for more domestic and global news updates throughout the day. Thank you for watching.